Hi guys, Recovery Jim here, birthday boy. Now, I'm going to talk about birthdays because I posted on my Instagram today 21 again, and do you know what? I would not wish to be 21 again. Absolutely not. You know, for all the knowledge that I know now, I guess, just the kind of life experience, I guess, nah, I wouldn't want to be 21 again, so yeah. I'm going to talk about birthdays. My 18th birthday, I was still in Glasgow, I was at college, and I'd met a girl in the Union Bar, and I don't know how we got onto it, but we both had the same birthday. I think she was a couple of years older than me, and it must have been her birthday that day, I can't remember. Anyway, we went out one night and she took me to a friend of hers. Were having a party, and they were older than me. You know, I was still, I suppose, wet behind the ears at 18. And we went to this house party in Glasgow, and they were older people, you know, like 23, 24, God forbid, you know, the knowledge and the wild things that these older people were doing. Anyway, somebody passed me a shot glass and said, "Oh, here, have this." And I was, you know, like to think that I could drink anything, and you know, more often than not, I could drink tequila, shots, whatever, and it'd be fine. I wasn't a person that was ever sick, you know, which I was quite proud of. So they handed me this shot, and I just thought, you know, always the case, if you can hold it down, don't bring it straight back up, you're sound, you know, you're brand new. So I drank it. Yeah, it was a rough drink, you know, it was like, whoa. Managed to, you know, keep it down, keep it in the system. And then I thought, fine, you know. They showed me the bottle, and it was apparently some kind of weird blue toxic looking thing. It said it was ecstasy, but it was spelt in some kind of weird way, EXTACE or something, I don't know. It was Portuguese absinthe, basically. And this girl who was kind of sat on the floor, kind of looking a bit rough, she leaned over and she said to me, "I'm just getting over that now, and I took one of them about 2 hours ago." And I just kind of laughed, and I suppose a little bit inside me was like, what? Because I thought, you know, it's alcohol, you're just going to get a bit more pissed and then that's it. I don't think I'd ever had absinthe at this point in my life, so I was a bit kind of, we'll see what happens. You know, I'd taken drugs, I'd taken all sorts. It was, you know, we'll see what happens, you know. I'd spent the previous summer taking a shitload of acid, so, you know, I was like, right, okay. Anyway, within about half an hour, I was just a fucking mess. I really was. Eventually this girl, I can't remember her name, maybe Vicky or something, we had to go, you know, I had to get a taxi. I was sick all over the kind of the hallway of the close, you know, the tenement buildings in Glasgow, they're called that. And I was just a mess. I was an absolute mess. Never saw the girl again, you know, surprising. So that was my 18th. My 21st, I was living down in Cambridgeshire, but I'd gone back up to Glasgow to see some of my old mates like Chris and Rick and other people. And we went out into Glasgow. I think it was, I seem to remember it being not the Sub Club, or Chaos maybe, something like that. And it was one of the big clubs. You know, I got completely pissed. It was my birthday. People were buying me drinks and stuff, my 21st. I think I ended up getting in a fight with someone. Obviously, it was not my fault. I got thrown out by the bouncers, but then I got beat up by the bouncers. I got a black eye. I had to make my way back to my mate's house where I was staying on my own, or I met them afterwards. I can't remember. It was a fucking shambolic night anyway. So that was my 21st. My 30th, it was actually all right. I was living in the Isle of Man, and I think I'd just come over to Cambridge to visit some friends and a girl that I was seeing at the time, Rachel, and that was actually okay. Some people bought John was there, Rachel's brother Chris, and a few of my friends from Cambridge. We all kind of came out and we had a bit of a night out, and it was actually a really, really nice night. You know, they got some of those Japanese lanterns and we let them off. One actually tried to get into someone's house across the street or something like that. Like the lantern landed and we thought it was going to go on fire, so we did a bolt. So that one, 30th, was all right. And I can't really think. I mean, a lot of my birthdays, I'm just bringing out the kind of big ones. They were probably shambolic and messy and drinking, because that's the thing. Birthdays, it's an excuse to drink in it. You know, if ever you've got an excuse, it's Christmas, birthdays. But the birthday, it's your birthday, it's your own birthday. So, you know, do what the fuck you like. And I tended to do that quite a lot and just get to be, it was like, oh, it's my birthday, you know, and become the most ripped person there. And that's not ever, you know, a way to celebrate. A couple of years back, 2018, so I'd have been 38 now. I'd lost someone quite close to me, just literally like, it was the 2nd of February that Liz Stevenson took her own life. Now, I didn't really deal with that well at all. I think on the 5th or the 6th, I went round to her friend Rosie's, and I suppose we were kind of mourning in our own kind of way. And, you know, I arrived at hers with vodka. I didn't really know her that well, and our housemate was there, and we were all obviously, you know, cut up, distraught, and we just got pissed and high for a couple of days. You know, it was a bit of fun, but it was more a kind of send-off for Liz. And I arrived back at my house where I was staying with my folks at the time, on my actual birthday. My mum got me a bonsai tree and stuff, but I was just a mess. You know, I was kind of distraught. I was hungover. I was pissed up, whatever. And it was a bit of a horrible birthday, because after that, I just kind of descended into, yeah, a really, really bad kind of alcoholic part of my life. I blamed myself. You know, Liz was, I suppose the word's kind of bipolar, manic. She was up and down, and that was, we weren't expecting it. Nobody expected it. So to this day, I still don't know whether it was a cry for help, or she actually wanted to go through with it. So it was a very difficult time. You know, as I say, I've kind of put it to bed now, I guess, but I blame myself for a long time over that. And I just drank. I drank for a long time. I mean, it really, up until last year, I suppose, it was kind of playing on me, and an excuse to drink. You know, it didn't do any good, the drinking. It didn't bring her back. Obviously, it didn't you know, make me feel any better or worse. But I suppose it's that whole self-destruct kind of button, fuck it button. You know, and that kind of happened for a long time. And you know, My birthday last year, as I mentioned before, I was with Emma and the kids where I was living, and it was a lovely birthday. You know, we didn't have a lot of money because I wasn't working. We were kind of, you know, in a bit of a bad place, I guess, in our relationship as well. But, you know, they gave me gifts and cards and things, and it was a nice day. You know, I mean, I did get pissed on vodka, but I wasn't, as I said before, I wasn't kind of completely out of my head, but it did kind of, that was the descent, that was the start of the kind of spiral for me. And so to be here today sober, and wake up sober, and I'll go to bed sober, you know, I'm with my family, you know, I've had some lovely messages off of people, you know, and it's been a good day so far. I've come out, you know, I went into town for a bit. And I've come out to one of my favourite places on the island. It's a little hidden kind of cove called Fleshick Bay. So I'll show you. I'll do my usual. If I can get the windows open. So. Yeah, it's a stunning little place, this. It's a stunning little kind of cove, I guess. I think it was definitely, the little cave over there was definitely like a smuggler's paradise part of the island. You know, there's only one little kind of shitty country road down to it, and it's a great little hidden cove. I mean, I can't wait to come here in the summer and do some swimming. There's a lovely little hills and that I've climbed up before. So yeah, so this is a lovely little spot to come and sit and chill and just have your thoughts with yourself, you know, and all that. And yeah, so today's been good so far. You know, I'm gonna go home, having a Sunday roast with the family. That'll be awesome. Yeah, got some nice presents, but yeah. Just wanted to talk about birthdays because this is possibly, I would guess, since 14, my first ever sober birthday, or not waking up with a hangover, or not planning to go out and get completely ripped and fucked up beyond all recognition. So yeah, and I don't miss it. You know, I'm happy that I'm sober and compos mentis and not waking up and going, oh, who did I piss off? You know, who did I text or fucking call or piss off? You know, yeah, I'm happy to be here and sober and grateful. And yeah, so that's it. I always say it's going to be short, and then I just rabbit on for fucking 11 minutes. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Do your usual: subscribe, share, comment, DM, subscribe, whatever. Yeah, but anyway, Jim's good. Jim's having a good birthday, and thanks, guys. Thanks to all, you know, people that are following me and commenting and watching and all of that jazz. So yeah, I'll post this afternoon. And yeah, I'm gonna have a nice leisurely Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. But yeah, cool. All right, love you loads. Bye, peace.